So I pulled into this gas station, Synergy. God's glory. The lights went off.
I am back and welcome to the dark mode. Alright everyone, it's been almost a month since I posted my last video after the 7-day fast. It's pretty intense, but I feel like my body has been rebooted. And I'll give you a little update on, what's happened since then. And also I want to talk about this winter solstice that's coming up in a couple of days, and how there's going to be a lot more demonic activity in our reality, right? If some of you are getting attacked by black magic, or there are demonic entities in your space that's attacking you or latching onto you, around this time frame, around the winter solstice is actually when it becomes more potent, right? These attacks become more potent. And that's because the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is a time when the Earth's axis is furthest away from the sun. So the further we are away from the light, then this is when the shadows thrive. And on the winter solstice, it's going to be the darkest day of the year, and also the longest night. So that's the simplest way I can explain to you guys. But this is a time when the darkness, they're more out and about, and these attacks can become more potent. Now, in order for us to, I know a lot of us want to help. Like, I want to battle the darkness. Like, I want to fight the darkness. Or why is this happening? Either you are in a fight mode. You want to go against, why are all these evil things happening? Or you feel defeated. Like, when is this apocalypse coming, right? Kind of whatever about it, and just lost in your world. Not really tuned in, like a zombie like, which a majority of the collective is. So how these demons roam and how they thrive is on our weaknesses, on our shadows, things that we hide in the dark. So for example, I used to not believe that there are demons. I usually think it's like, it's your own shadows that you need to, work on, right? Facing our own demons. It's all in the mind. It's all you. It's all us. And then there are some people that came to me while I was learning about demonology, and there are demons, right? I tuned into some photos, some locations, and the moment I tuned in, I got dizzy. Whatever it was trying to get into my energy field, deep into my chakras. Like, I had to stop and start doing extraction before they got even further. Also, when I tuned in this person, it was like a hollow body. There was no soul. I've never experienced anything like it, but there was no soul. Even when I was tuning into Taylor Swift at one time, there was a soul. I felt her soul being trapped. But this black magician that I tuned into, there was no soul. He was like a counterpart of me in a way, right? I worked myself to be a vessel connected to source. He's sold his soul and has now become the vessel into the dark. And we're talking about these demon princes. We got Baphomet, the Lucifer, we got demons taking over Angkor Wat. Like, this is some dark realms. And how they thrive is feeding off our fears. And how they even latch on in the first place is when we are in such a state of low vibration, right? Grief, fear, pain, depression. When you are in that denser emotion, this is when they latch on. This is when they attack. And then over time, as you like gain yourself back, if you, most of the time people aren't aware that they're not even there, because it's lodged so deep within them at one point in time where there was something very traumatic happened, that it's deep within your energy field, right? Deep within your chakras, and you're not even aware that it's there, but it's there, and you'll tap into it. The more you clear yourself, right? All this inner work that you're doing, past life regression, cord cutting, you got the plant medicine, ayahuasca. These are all clearing out the energies so that you get closer to source. But as you go through the shadows, and then you're going to enter like this darkness, this very dense reality. There's this realm where the demons roam, right? I mean, you'll notice you'll go across entities or incarnates or like ghosts. That is on actually a higher realm. But when you get to the darker realm, we're talking about demons, sacrifices. We're talking about attachment, like sucking, like selling souls, deals with the devil. This has entered my field. And this is what, for those who am able to make that connection to source, this is what we're being called to be in service of. Because when I tap into these darker realms, whatever's in me has to be, the shadows, the darkness within me has to be transmuted already, or else like this is how they attack, right? But also, it's when you're in this realm, there is soul retrieval. Because when something traumatic happens, your soul kind of leaves the body, right? And you notice like an accident or like a sudden death of someone, or when you're in such a pain of grief, you stop breathing, and part of you feel like you lost part of your soul, or your soul jumped out, right? Somewhere along that your soul's journey, a part of your soul was left there. And so as I'm doing all these extractions, these healings, as I get into the deeper realms, I realize not only that it's not so much of like facing our own demons, it's facing our trauma of what happened, because that is the realm these demons thrive in. That's the realm that they exist in. And so when we go back and I do these healings, I do these extractions, whatever's left on there, that's part one. Part two is retrieving that part of your soul and bringing it back to you. Because you really realize that all this time we go gravitate to different people in our life, because if they're exuding a certain energy and your chakra is closed and you're lacking in that energy center, then you're going to gravitate towards someone who has a lot of that energy, right? So for example, someone who has a lot of money, that's the root chakra, stability. If you don't have a lot of money, your root chakra is off balance, it's closed or it's blocked, you're going to gravitate towards people who has a lot of money with that energy, that a lot of root chakra energy, so that it in a way helps balance you, helps complement you, helps you feel complete, right? But you realize as you do either Reiki or all this energy healing and opening up your chakras, when your chakras or energy centers are in balance, that person that you used to gravitate towards may not even that pull to that person may not even be as strong as it was when you first met them. Because you have gained that energy, your power back, because now your chakras are producing its own energy. It all leads back to source. Source is our main source of energy. But now as your chakra is back in balance, that person that once pulled you were pulled to may not be relevant, or the lessons already learned, and then they may exit your field. Okay? So sometimes you may think it's love, like falling head over heels for someone. But it could be that your heart chakra is closed and they have a lot of heart energy. And they help you feel complete. So it all goes back to us healing from within. Because when you heal within, you unblock, you shed light on all these traumas, all these events that happen. And sometimes if you can't make sense of it in this lifetime, it may be connected to a past life. It may be connected to your bloodline, your ancestors. But it's going to keep repeating until you learn that lesson, or you retrieve that part of your soul back. So yeah, it's not so much of facing our own demons, because demons do exist. I think it's more of healing within ourselves and retrieving that fragment of our soul so that we become more whole and complete every time we heal ourselves. Because what's happening here is that we're projecting it in our reality so that it could bring up what it is here for us to heal, release, and balance, right? The end goal, I believe, is become in full alignment and reconnect with source. And that kind of brings me back to after over 5 years of work in Moldavite, holding that much energy and now tapping into the realm of the Palacites, going to there's a demonic realm, there is a realm of the goddesses, there is a realm of heaven. Actually, heaven is below the realm of the goddesses. So there are different realities. And I realized in these darker realms, even I retrieve part of my soul as I was doing some of these past life regressions on myself, and realized, like, okay, why was there an attachment to me, or what happened that I haven't really shed light on and healed that inner version of me. But all throughout this time work in Moldavite, I feel like the transformation has been complete. And once you make that connection with source, like, you'll feel it. My body right now feels like a Taurus field. There's energy channeling through, and I've never had this feeling before. And usually when I do a healing session with someone prior to making that connection with source, it would take me out. It would like deplete me for several days. And what you have to realize is source is our main source of energy. If you haven't made that, source is what replenishes us. And if you haven't made that connection back with source, then we are just using our own energy to help heal others, which is going to be very tiring. And that's why when I coach or when I teach people, it's like, be selfish. Work on yourself first. Put all the energy back in yourself. I know there is this savior mentality that I want to save my family, I want to save the people I love, but you can't help them if you haven't made that connection with source. Otherwise, you're just wasting your own energy. And now it's going to be a cycle that you're gonna have to, you eventually will realize that this is not working very effectively. Okay. So about the winter solstice coming up, again, this is a time when the sun is the furthest away. The earth is tilted and we are on the northern hemisphere, which is furthest away from the sun. So there's going to be a lot more darkness that is coming out. So it's just something to be aware. Last year, I actually got attacked on after doing one of the group chat sessions on the winter solstice, and that's when I got this big staph infection on my jaw, and then my black cat stopped. It like yelped out of nowhere, pooped on himself, and stopped eating for 4 days. So with animals, particularly if you have cats, they tend to take on energies for you, children too, if you have kids, because these cords are more connected to you. If something attacks you energetically and it's very potent, then our animals tend to take it on for us if this body is not able to take it on completely. Or those closely connected to you may feel some of the impact, okay? But I realize my cats take on quite a bit for me before I had made this connection with source. So now when I do these demonic extractions, I send it all back to source. And if you haven't made that connection back with source, when you're doing this demonic extraction, or you attempt to, you got to figure out where to place it. Where can you put this demon, right? You put it in a what's it called? What is a genie? A little pot, or a black box in the ether somewhere. It's there. The only way to get rid of these demons is to send it back to source. And that first has to start with you building that connection with source. But that is my little update for today. I hope it makes sense. So what I have in plan is I'm going to be doing a 12/21 winter solstice session. And what we're going to do during this session is I'm going to seal off the room energetically, and because man, if the entities are out. Even I've been guided not to go outside during the nighttime. And so when you enter this session, you're going to be entering the realm of the Moldavite grid. So when you enter into this session, we're going to create a sacred space. And this is when I'm going to bring up the Moldavites to push up all the energy that is hidden deep within you. And what you notice is these are typically energy vampires. They tend to latch on very deep. If you haven't expanded yourself to reach that darkness, then it's still going to be within you. There has to be someone who's expanded that far to be able to help you extract it. When we're talking demons too, right? You have to go to a priest or someone who's made that connection to source. We'll work on whatever is going to come through. I'm going to help you guys extract it, and then seal you guys off until the rest of the solstice is over. But that is what I got in store. That's what I've been called to do. So if you feel called to that session, the link to register is in my description below. Other than that, I am working on a 6-month training program. I believe in 6 months, I can get you guys aligned and connected to source down the path that I've been through, and I've known how to get there. It took me almost over 5 years with a lot of Moldavite to break through and make that connection with source. Even those joining the program, I have them check in, like, if you join the program, do you still need to take ayahuasca? The answer is no. If you join the program, do you still need to do all these, if you still need to learn Reiki? The answer is no. So it's very interesting because all of these trainings is to work on ourselves, to build that connection to source, to open that connection to source. Other than that, you are just seeking other healers, other modalities, all these different tools to bring you back to source. But I feel like with the Moldavites, everything is accelerated, that it is possible to make that connection to source within 6 months. We'll be working one-on-one more intensely. I'll be doing a lot of healings with you, for you, and bringing you to different past life regressions. And we're talking about the root of when first everything happened during these regressions. So we're going pretty deep into the darkness so they can retrieve that fragment of soul so that these other lifetimes after it won't be relevant anymore, right? It won't come up for you as more as once you pull out that thorn at the root of it, then that other lifetimes begin to heal. But I'll talk more about the 6 months program another time. But if you are interested in that, shoot me an email. But for now, let's focus on this 1221. If you feel called to register, the link is in my description below. Other than that, I hope everyone's doing well. Just stay high vibe. That's all I got. And that I will talk to you guys soon. Temido.